Hello and welcome to today's live coaching call and community conversation. My name is Diane Parham. If you're new here, I am a fasting mindset coach, and every Monday and Thursday at noon Central Standard Time, we get together here on Facebook and YouTube to discuss things that are relative to us as today's aging woman. And we usually do that from the standpoint of practicing an intermittent fasting lifestyle. So welcome. Today, we're going to talk about risks versus benefits. And we're going to talk about it in regards to this lifestyle that we all love and why it is we would ever risk something for a benefit, or if a benefit is the thing that's going to outweigh any kind of risk. And how do we determine whether those things are going to be beneficial to us or not? So welcome. Please take a second if you haven't done so to hit that subscribe button. It does help our channel. It does help our community. It helps the algorithms know that this is content that is valuable to our community. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, I appreciate that. Also, make sure on Facebook you're hitting that follow button, and then you're all set up for notifications. So you'll be notified when we go live. Okay. All of the admin stuff out of the way. Let's talk about risks versus benefits. And I want to talk to you today as an individual woman, as if you and I were sitting across my dining room table and just having a girlfriend chat. And I want us to really get down to the nitty gritty of why it is we are always looking for that little sense of comfort, or that little thing that's going to tell us it's okay to do something that we're questioning, and why it is we're so willing to take the risk of negating all the benefits that intermittent fasting can provide to us. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about the risk of intermittent fasting and what it does for us hormonally as women. So let's talk about some of these little risks that we're willing to take for a comfort or some little benefit that we think that we're going to get that's bigger than anything that we can negate, right? And so, here we do like to talk about the clean fast. We like to talk about the opportunity to be in a deep fasted state for healing purposes, for balancing purposes, for resetting our thought process around food and the discomfort of sitting in hunger. And that clean fast is really where so many women are finding their power. So I want you to think about that. A clean fast is where you could find your power as a woman, right? You sit in that place of emptiness, you sit in that place of hunger, and everything is going to be a-okay. Why would you want to risk that for whatever benefit that, I don't know, apple cider vinegar is going to give to you when you first wake up in the morning, or lemon or lime in your water? Like, why would you want to risk that sense of pure empowerment and pure confidence and pure, just power that we get when we're in that state of hungry? Why would you want to risk that for whatever benefit those little quick fixes are going to provide for you? And I really want you to think about this seriously, because there are so many people out there still struggling with but I heard if I have 15 calories, it doesn't break my fast. We're not worried about that. What we're worried about, or what we really want to focus on, is why would you risk it? What if for you, it is that thing keeping you from looking and feeling your best? What if that tiny little squeeze of lemon in your water is that thing that's taking you out of that sense of power that we all want to feel, right? Why would we risk that for whatever digestive benefit lemon juice in our water does for us? We don't need to have our digestive system kick-started in the morning with lemon juice if we're gonna stay fasted for a majority of our day. So I want us to start thinking about that and ask the very simple question: how is that working for me? Or better yet, how is that benefiting me on the path to what it is that I say that I really want? And why, as a woman, do I need those tiny little comforts? Why do I need to put all those little things in my life? What am I so afraid of missing out on? And when you can get really clear on that, you will not risk a thing for the minuscule little benefit that you're going to get from whatever anyone says that you're going to get from the thing, right? We also say that about like stevia in your coffee. Why is it that you're so afraid of letting go of that quick little fix or that sweet little sensation in your coffee. What is it about stevia that has that power over you that you're willing to risk the absolute pure benefit of being in that clean fasted state? And is that going to get you what it is you say that you really want? And when you as a woman can strip all of that away and just sit in comfort in that clean fasted state, you will never risk losing that feeling for whatever little sensation you're getting from lemon or lime or apple cider vinegar or stevia or heavy whipping cream in your coffee. You will never want to trade that away. So that's what I want us to think about going into this weekend, right? What are you willing to risk, or what are you currently risking? And is the benefit you're getting from that outweighing the risk? And if it's not, then I want you to consider maybe second guessing some of those things and questioning them. Another big thing is the whole toothpaste thing, right? People freak out when I say I don't use toothpaste in the morning, right? And it's not even about clean fasting anymore for me. It's all just about, that's just a habit that I've created, and I've realized and proven that I don't need to do that in the morning. I've proven that by going to the dentist twice a year now for the past 7 years, and every single time I go to the dentist as I'm aging, my dentist appointments get better and better and better the less I do. So the benefit of using toothpaste in the morning was not enough for me, right? The benefit that I get from giving that risk away has yielded me so many amazing results with my own oral health and the hygiene of what it is that I'm doing in my morning routine, that why would I ever risk that? Like, what is it about toothpaste that I'm holding on to so tightly that I can't just experiment with that and just see what happens? And we've had other women in our community, you can read some of the comments in the comment section, who have also just questioned it and given up something as simple as toothpaste, and their dental appointments have vastly improved for them. So think about some of those little things in your life that you're letting kind of just hang out, and are you risking too much for them? And can you reap some bigger, better benefits that you never would have imagined if you just let them go? So the other thing I said I was going to talk about today was intermittent fasting and the risk of putting yourself in a state of hormonal imbalance. And I want to share a little story of my own personal journey with hormonal imbalance. And I was one of those young girls and women who suffered from very, very uncomfortable and almost impossible menstrual cycles. And now that, I look back with the information and the experience I have today, I'm pretty sure that that was the result of lifestyle choices that I just wasn't aware of because the education wasn't there. So when we think along those lines, right, and we do a little walk down memory lane of some of the things that we suffer as women, I also went through a period of time with infertility issues and had a slew of instructions from my doctor of things that we were going to attempt to do to solve my infertility problems, and none of them had to do with lifestyle changes, and none of them had to do with nutrition, right, and none of it had to do with fasting. I wasn't fasting at the time, and I was in a very very, very drastic state of hormonal imbalance. And I decided to take upon myself some lifestyle changes, and I eliminated a bunch of things from my life. I went very, very one ingredient type nutrition. I cut out alcohol. I cut out caffeine. I got rid of a bunch of things that I knew were hormone disruptors. And I started fasting. I started putting myself into a fasted state. And within 3 months, my infertility problems went away. So imagine if you could just rethink the fear mongering that's going on for women, right? And knowing all the women who are suffering infertility problems or menstrual cycle problems or menopausal problems, which are all seasons of hormonal disruption and imbalance, so to speak. And what if we just decided to eliminate a bunch of things in our life and let our body balance itself out? How can intermittent fasting be a thing that is so risky for us, right? That we're not going to even see if we can reap some of those benefits. So I want you to ask yourself this as a woman, like if just as if we were sitting here at my kitchen table having a conversation, I would ask you, have you ever considered the fact that you are feeling this way, or your body is responding this way, or you're struggling in this way, and you're not making any changes, you're not practicing intermittent fasting, you haven't considered some things in your everyday lifestyle routine that could possibly be putting you in a state where you're already imbalanced. And what if we made some changes, right? So think about that again as a woman. I just heard a report the other day, I talked about it on Monday, the rise of infertility issues with women that are just so mysterious, like there's no rhyme or reason to them. Doctors can't figure out what's causing that. If you run through all the tests, like I was supposed to run through all the tests, you're like, there's no indication that you should have any kind of infertility issues. We have a problem on our hands, right? And what if we just decided, I'm going to try this thing. I'm going to move out of my body's way. I'm going to definitely take a risk here and see if I can reap some benefits from it. You won't know until you put your body in that place. The same thing holds true with questions that I get all the time. I suffer from fibromyalgia. Will intermittent fasting hurt me? Have you been fasting? Did intermittent fasting cause fibromyalgia? I don't know. Give it a try. I'm suffering from autoimmune disorders of any kind. I'm suffering from arthritis pain. I'm suffering from sleeplessness. Did all of those things come about because you've been fasting all those years, or did all those things come about because you haven't? Right? So why would you not run the risk to see if you can reap the benefits? And this is where we want to flip the tables on risks versus benefits. And I encourage you, if you're suffering from anything, just take a risk. See what you might be able to get on the other end of you just trying something new. And then I do encourage you to just stop listening to all the advice out there about what you're allowed to have in your fasted state. Fasting is fasting. If you're going to fast and you're fasting for the benefits of healing, and you're fasting for the benefits of hormonal balance, and you're fasting for all the reasons that you're looking into fasting for, do not risk your fasted state and just simply fast. The benefits that you will reap from that will blow your mind. And here in this community, we're not just looking at physique changes. How are you feeling emotionally and mentally when you show up around food? How are you feeling emotionally and mentally when you're in social settings? How are you feeling emotionally and mentally when you walk into your closet? How are you feeling emotionally and mentally around other people? When we get ourselves in that place where we feel so confident and we feel so powerful, and food is out of the equation, and all of those quick fixes and soothing agents and little pesky things that we allow in, we decide that they're not worth it to us anymore, my friend, everything in your life will get better for you, because you will show up as a better, stronger, more powerful woman, because you'll be doing it on your own accord. I will always preach this here in this community. I will always have you lean into the fast, so to speak, and I will always ask you to bet on you. You know you better than anyone else. Look inside of you for the advice that you are looking for. Look inside of you for the reason to take the risk. And I promise you, the benefits will blow your mind. This is all the stuff that we teach inside the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. I teach you how to sit in a state of power while having food not be any part of the equation, with not having anything be that quick little soothing thing that's going to take the edge off for you. I want you to sit in the edge. I want you to sit in that edge, and I want you to feel the power that you have as a woman. And then I want you to take that with you everywhere you go. And that's what we are always doing here in this community. I put the link for the intermittent fasting course in the comment section, both on Facebook and YouTube. This is your time to get off the fence. Our next course starts on May the 6th. If you have been in our class and you are a graduate and you still feel like you're struggling, I encourage you to jump into our Midlife Mindset Shift course. It's a group coaching program where we work on beyond just fasting, and why is it that we're not willing to make those hard decisions so that we can have the life that we say that we really want. So I encourage you to jump into that. If you are a graduate, registration opens for that at the end of every month. We will have registration open up at the end of March, and I would love, love, love to have you guys with us. So what I want you to think about is, why are you asking the internet if putting cream in your coffee is breaking your fast? If you have to ask the question, I encourage you to take the cream out of your coffee and just see what happens. If you're asking the internet, but can I have XYZ in my fast? I want you to just answer the question for yourself and take it out and see what happens. See what happens. Take the risk on you, knowing you. And if you're asking the question, it's worth the test. It's always worth the test. All right, let's go into the comment section and see who's here, see what kind of questions and comments I can answer for you guys. The community part of this conversation is really where the magic happens. It's where so many women are finding encouragement and support. So if you haven't done so yet and you'd like to leave a comment, please make sure that you do so before we jump off today. Okay, let's see. Liz, hello from sunny Maryland. Fasting 100% clean and feeling good. That's my girl right there. Fasting 100% clean and feeling good. I love that for you. Natalie, it's great to be here. Hello from Houston, Texas. I hope you are rested from your trip. Yes, the beautiful thing about our trip to Mexico is we rested while there, so we didn't have to rest when we came back. So it was beautiful. We just seamlessly moved right back into our life. My sleep has been fantastic this week. I feel very rejuvenated. I feel like I'm still on the backside of vacationing, which is always a great thing. And Natalie, that's one of those things, hanging out here with us, that when you take your life with you on vacation, then your vacation just kind of becomes part of who you are, right? So we never have to recover from vacation, which I love. Dale, January 23 grad. Hello from sunny Florida. Oh, girl, I love me some Florida. So glad it's sunny there for you. Judy, hello. Tina, from the UK, I need to hear this. I love when what I have on my heart and in my head also is what you have on your heart and in your head. So I like when we meet on that same path. Brian and Beth, hello. Sandy, this was my holdout for cream in my coffee. I absolutely love the freedom that letting that cream go. Plus, it's a lot cheaper not buying cream. Exactly, right? So all those little quick fixes that we think are serving us, right, end up being such a nuisance for us. And they kind of have a chokehold on us, where we feel like we can't have our coffee because we don't have XYZ. And yeah, keep your money in your pocket. There's so many other things that we can spend our money on other than, things that are slowly killing us, right, Sandy? And then when you get a really good coffee and you really enjoy coffee, coffee becomes its own little treat, and you don't have to have things in it just to soothe yourself. So I'm so happy for you, Sandy. And girl, I tell you all the time, I'm so proud of you. Lauren, it isn't a question of risk. It is a question of being the scientist of you. What works for you and what does not. You can only know by trying on different things. This is not a risk in the short term. 100%. I think the risk comes in. Why wouldn't you just want to risk seeing if it works, right? And so many people that I, come into contact with have such a stronghold on things like lemon in their water. Like, I can't live without lemon in my water. And if you ask why, right? It's just because they believe they can't live without lemon in their water, and they've never really put themselves to the test to see if it makes that big of a difference for them. Like, lemon in my water better change my life in some pretty drastic ways for me to risk what it is I'm doing in my fasted state, especially when we know that morning time is the time that we really start reaping the benefits, right? From the time we start our fast the night before till we get that 12 hours, we're just fasting. We're not in that fasted state where we're benefiting so deeply hormonally and chemically. And why in the heck would you want to risk that point of being in a state of fasted for anything like lemon? So that's the thing I always like us to question. Okay, KP, Karen from Pennsylvania, fast, clean, feast well. Yes, honey in my tea was a problem letting go of. Happy to report honey has been gone for 8 months. Current member, see you tonight. Yeah, girlfriend, I'll see you tonight for sure. Love having you in the midlife mindset shift with us. Yeah, like really, like why is something like that so hard to let go of? And it's a real thing. Karen, I love that you said, it was that problem letting go, right? It was hard for you to let that go. But then when you run the test and you're just like, let me just see what happens after 2 weeks of not putting honey in my tea, and you reap all the benefits of that, it was definitely worth the risk, right? The risk of whatever it is you were afraid of. So I'm happy for you and super proud of you. Kimmy K, question, what about the risk of restricting food too much? I'm starting to feel mentally pulled in that direction. So Kimmy, I would say, why Why is it that you feel restricted by food? Like, what's going on in your feasting window that you're feeling restricted? Something is going on in your brain. You have some thoughts going on that have you feeling like you need to restrict. What is that? Right? When you can get to that, then that's when you'll be able to solve that problem. So there should be no food restriction whatsoever when you're feasting. When your feasting window is open, it's open. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Just make sure that the decisions that you're making are what it is you say you really want from this lifestyle. And the space in between those two things is usually where the conflict arises. And then we have things like restriction come in, right? So make sure you're being honest with yourself about food choices, and are those food choices serving you? And then you can do food tests. So we do 30-day food tests, or I like to talk about 30-day food tests. If you have a food that's in question and you're feeling like you need to restrict yourself from it, do a 30-day food test. So this is how I determined for me that French fries are not a problem, right? There's lots of people in this health space who will like gasp if you tell them that you eat French fries, because some people think French fries are a unnecessary food or a junk food or bad or whatever. And no, French fries are just potatoes, right? And yeah, they can be bad if they have processed ingredients in them and they're not really potatoes, or they're fried in a bad oil. 100%. You can take something really good, a really good food, and turn it into something that might not serve you. So I just have found that if I eat whole potatoes that are fried in good oil, then French fries are not a problem for me. I did a 30-day test on them. And when I got to the end of my 30-day test, I realized I miss French fries. Like, I love French fries. And that I just have to be very aware of what the potato makeup is and what kind of oil they're being fried in. And then I have to run an honest check with myself. Like, if I'm feeling really negative about my physique, or I'm noticing some things that I don't like, then I have to go, okay, how many times a week can Diane have French fries and also be happy, right? And so sometimes you do have to put some limits on some things. And so I would do a lot of that thought download, Kimmy. And if you're not in our mindset shift course, or you haven't taken the intermittent fasting course, I would highly recommend jumping in, because those courses are where I help you build a foundation that is happy and healthy. So consider that as well. Wanda, jumping in, hope your vacation was fabulous. Week 3 on 24, so far so good. Mental clarity is my goal. Yeah, perfect. So mental clarity will definitely come for sure. It's just keeping and then making sure that with the 20 hours of fasting and the 4 hours of feasting, make sure you got that feasting part down, that you're not putting anything in there that might cause some mental disruption. Sometimes it's something, those little pesky things in our environment. So get that rhythm down like you're doing with the 24, and then you become an investigator and start looking around your environment and stuff. But I'm super happy for you, Wanda. Karen, processed food is killing people. IF is actually a protection. Yeah. And here's the deal. We're not trying to be food. I will never be a food snob here for anyone else. I'm just a food snob for myself. And I will never, ever be critical of anyone's food choices. My job here as your coach is to help you figure out why you're making decisions that aren't serving you, right? Because to say that my house is processed food free would be an absolute lie. We don't live our life that way. We have found that there are certain things that we can allow in, and the ingredients of them are better. We've had better options, right? And so that's what I really like to coach women on, because we don't want to become food phobic and we don't want to become restricted. Like Kimmy was saying that she's going through a season of that. You have to question yourself, like, why are you being so restrictive, right? So not all processed food is bad. You just have to figure out what in processed food is hurting you, right? And can you find better alternatives? Because today's world has all kinds of options, and you can actually find some things that are going to serve you a little better. And if you don't want to go super, super squeaky clean with your eating, then you just have to be really good about reading ingredients and all of those kind of things. Donna, I know you don't tell us what to eat, but I'd like your opinion and thought on the flavor water fads that really are really popular in the feasting window. What kind of flavored water fads are you talking about? Are you talking about like flavored LaCroix and all of those kind of things? Again, you have to go with your gut on that and your own comfort level for what's going to serve you, right? And so I am not going to tell people that something is good or bad. There's all kinds of reports out about bad things in water these days and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we know all that. And then you just got to live your life happy for you. I am not willing to restrict everything in my life because life is it's just not supposed to be that way. You're supposed to be able to have some fun and enjoyment and some fancy things and all the things in your life, but you also want to make sure that you're doing things at the healthiest for you and your family. So we have flavored LaCroix in our refrigerator right now as I speak. We have some flavored mineral waters in our refrigerator as we speak, and I save those for my feasting window. And I don't have any problem with adding those in because those are the few and not the many for me, right? So I have them on occasion. So you have to figure that out for you and read the ingredients label and do a little research on them and see what works best for you. But everything has something in it that has been tested and someone will tell you that it's bad for you, even the air that you're breathing. And we're not going to walk around holding our breath. So you got to just make the most informed choice for you, my friend. Judy, what is the black coffee that does not break a fast? Any black coffee that doesn't have any kind of flavoring in it or infused like, hazelnut, like those kind of things. So the coffee I'm currently drinking, I did a little reel on it, and I think there's a short here on YouTube of it. It's the Trident. We like the Calm Under Pressure roasted bean. But you have to go do your research. What's convenient for you, what fits in your family budget, what makes you look and feel your best. And then you just want to make sure you're not getting any kind of coffee beans that are, processed in a way that are going to have mold or toxicities and, all those kind of things. And then you just throw a dart and you buy some coffee and you see if it works, kind of thing. But you do want to stay away from things that are going to have added flavors to them because that can be a trigger to your brain, especially for a lot of people who are insulin resistant. So that would be my advice on that. Diana from British Columbia. This is my third month maintaining my 108-pound loss. 108-pound loss. I'm in the rhythm now of what works for me. This is an amazing lifestyle. I love these weekly sessions with you. Diana, girlfriend, I'm so proud of you. 108 pounds. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Karen, since I started IF in 2022, I noticed I say often, I love my life. I'm super comfortable with being Karen. Yes, that is the best, right? That's because, Karen, you're living your most authentic life, and we're most comfortable with ourselves when we're living for ourselves in our own authentic way. So good for you, my friend. So proud of you. Deb, if creamer is desired, can we choose to break our fast in the morning and stop our feast 4 hours later, shift the feasting window? You're allowed to do whatever you want, my friend. The beautiful thing about creating your own lifestyle is you get to create it around your life, right? This is the living our most authentic life part of what we do here. So if you find that you love your creamer in your coffee and you need to drink your coffee in the morning so you can sleep at night, you can shift your fasting and your feasting windows to whatever you want. The other thing I highly recommend too, especially when you're really confident with being in that state of hungry and just sitting in that and knowing that everything's going to be okay, and you've really reversed a lot of the things that you were unhappy with, I say take a day or two where you just put whatever it is you want in your coffee and you enjoy it for whatever it is. And then the rest of the days you do your long, clean fast. So once we get to a point where we're really comfortable and confident, you can play around with some things. And this is what we call the ebb and flow of this lifestyle. And then if you feel like doing that is causing you to like get too loosey-goosey on the reins and fall too far away from your lifestyle, you just make the decision to come back. Do a couple weeks of really clean fasting 7 days a week, and then you can kind of go back to the thing. So we don't want to become so rigid with this lifestyle that we are not who we say we want to be either, right? So play with it a little bit, see what you got. Tina, Judy B, I was thinking that too. Any black coffee that's just black is not going to break a fast. Okay, Karen. Can I fast from 7 to 7? You can fast whenever you want. So 7 to 7 would be 12 hours of fasting if you're talking like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And what we have found is that's just fasting. You're not really getting your body into a fast fasted state. And what we want to reap is the fasted state part, which is the 12 hours to 20 hours, that extra 8 hours in there. But you get to do what works best for you. And Karen, what I highly recommend doing is creating your fasting around your life. Don't change your life too fast. That would be a short-lived experience and not very fun. And it makes us not very fun people when we're trying to micromanage our life around eating and not eating. So sit down and look at your calendar and figure out like what's the most optimal time for you to be in a fasted state. For a lot of us here, we fast from dinner time because we like having dinner with our family to, a kind of a mid-afternoon break time. So if I'm fasting 20 hours, I usually have dinner with my family. It stops at 6. And so I would count 20 hours forward. I usually break my fast around 2 or 3. So then you have a 4-hour feasting window. But 12 hours is just fasting. It's not reaping the benefits of being in a fasted state. Miss Druma, is it okay to strength train while in a fasted state? 100%. Why would you not want to strength train? I just worked out this morning. I did a 20-minute incline hike on my treadmill and a 30-minute pretty intense intervals sprint, kind of run jog session. Fasted, felt fantastic. Yeah, you get to decide for you, my friend. This is that thing that goes back to, is it okay? Why wouldn't, what I want you to think about is why wouldn't it be okay? And I want you to ask yourself that question, like, why wouldn't it be okay to work out in a fasted state? Strength train, running, like cardiovascular type exercises, aerobic type exercises, especially in like a low intensity in a fasted state, is like magic. It's such an amazing kind of euphoric feeling. So give it a try. See how you feel. Robin, January 23 grad. So happy to have learned here that it's the long, clean fast that you are able to get to let go of the vinegar, lemon, and whatever else we think is helping. When in doubt, fast it out. That is where all the issues will go away. Yeah. Who wants to be like chained to all of those things? Like, just let it go. The best thing you can do for your gut, if you're putting all those things in your morning routine for gut health, is to do nothing. Do things in your feasting window that are going to fix your gut, right? And just let your gut be empty for a good part of the day. It'll fix itself 100%. Sandy, watching in Uganda, Africa. Well, welcome from Uganda, Africa. Love that we have such an international base of women here. Cynthia from New Jersey. Dee Danilia from the Virgin Islands. Girlfriend, welcome. I love Sandy. I was talking to all of our friends here. We're at Disney next week. Girl, I'm so happy for you to go to Disneyland. Kathy from Austin, Texas. Girl, you're just down the road. Mary Ann, August 22 grad. Happy to watch you. Fasting clean 20. Loving my life. Thanks, Diane. Yes, loving my life. Like 3 words I never get tired of reading out loud. Mary Ann, I'm so happy for you. Elaine, been fasting since last June and love the benefits. Have fallen a bit underweight for the past few weeks while moving out of my house. Need advice on gaining 5 to 7 pounds without gaining belly weight. Well, it sounds like you have a temporary situation that's causing you to lose more weight than you want to. You're under stress, probably. You're moving houses. So I would say just do what you do, get settled in wherever it is your new residence is, and just see how life balances itself back out. I bet you will have no problems once you get settled into your new place and you're happy and you're situated and you're comfortable. Everything will resolve itself. When we have temporary things in our life, we call those seasons, and those seasons create a change. If you go and drastically change your lifestyle, then that's just a temporary thing also, right? So just go with the flow, my friend. And then when you get settled back in your new residence, I guarantee you everything will work back out because you'll be settled and you'll feel settled. So just ride it out. Sandy, I always said creamer doesn't affect me and Diane is just wrong. I love when you guys challenge me. I'm up for it any day. Like, challenge me all you want. But it caused a huge glucose jump after I had it like 30 points up. It's not worth it to me. And you were right. Yeah. So remember, what breaks a fast is insulin, right? So if you're doing something that causes your body to think that insulin is needed, it will release insulin and then you start the whole digestive process and hello, you just broke your fast. Is creamer worth that to you? Sandy figured out it wasn't. And challenge me anytime you guys want to challenge me, I'm up for it because guess what? I may not be always right for you, but I know what is right for me, and I know what is right for a lot of women. And so I beg you to challenge everyone that's giving you advice. Challenge it all. Trey, jumping in to say hi from New Jersey and to thank you for all you do. I only clean fast always. Like you said, it's not worth the risk. Thanks again for all your wonderful content. You're welcome, my friend. Thanks for checking in with us. Angela, January 23 grad, 38 pounds down, clean fasting 24, one meal a day once a week. Pain and inflammation gone. My son is no longer at the 300 club because of IF. It has helped his Crohn's flare-ups too. Girl, that's the gift of giving, right? And you're setting an amazing example for your son to follow, because let's just be honest, if we set the example, they will follow. And now you get to help your son reverse something that could be so debilitating to him. That Crohn's disease is just awful. You're helping him manage those flare-ups, and you're helping him lose weight, which means you're adding years to his life. So bless up, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing. People are watching, and you're making a change as well. Marie, January 23 grad, skin feels amazing, no acne, decreased bloating to abdomen, no heartburn, no pain in my joints, knees, and best of all, lost 23 pounds. Y'all, that's coming from Marie, right? January 23 graduate. So that was just a couple of months ago. Skin feels amazing. No acne. Again, it's that thing where we're like, well, I heard intermittent fasting causes hormonal imbalances. Really? Because my friend Marie here had acne, which is probably caused by hormonal imbalances. And now she doesn't have acne anymore. So I don't know. Why don't you take a risk and see if maybe you might be able to reap the benefits as well, right? No bloating, no heartburn, no pain in her joints, and lost 23 pounds. Marie, you're winning, my friend. Thank you for sharing your results. Karen, Diane, I want to give life my best life. I want to live my best life, but need to find out if I can fast from 7 to 7. Okay, well, go do it. Go fast from 7 to 7. Just decide. Don't. If you know you want to give it a test, Karen, go give it a test. Just decide at 7 o'clock tonight, you're going to start your fast. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, you're going to make an informed decision. Can I fast a little longer? Or did I satisfy whatever curiosity I had, right? So start from 7 to 7. But just know that 7 to 7 is just fasting. It's not creating a fasting environment in your body if you break your fast at 7 in the morning. So try that first. Prove to yourself you're going to be okay. And then Karen, I'm going to highly recommend you jump into our May class with us, because girlfriend, I want to challenge you to run the risk. Run the risk on you. Run the risk on you being able to reap all the benefits that all these other women in our community have been sharing. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it. And then you get to come back as a graduate with us. So Karen, go start that first 7 to 7 and then come back on Monday and let us know how it went. Judy, so is it just black coffee, or does not having a flavor trigger breaking a fast? It's all about the flavor. Yeah, because what happens when you have something in your mouth, right? Because your mouth is where the digestive process starts. Your mouth signals to your brain, I think something's coming in that needs to be digested, because your mouth doesn't know, right? It just gets this sensation of flavor, and then your brain gets a signal, and then your brain starts all the signaling processes of the digestive process. And the first thing that is released is insulin, right? Because we need to have that as part of the glucose response, all the things, right? You can go do the scientific study on how all that works. So it's the flavor sensation in your mouth, which is why this whole debate of stevia has come up so many times. Well, stevia doesn't break a fast. Yes, it does, because it's telling your brain that something sweet's coming in, and your brain thinks that sweet things need to be digested. So you start the process. So it's never calories. It's not a thing. It's that what's your brain doing in response to what you just decided. Because your brain ultimately is going to be the one that's going to just start the process or not start the process. It's not Fred on the internet who tells you 15 calories are okay, or Betty on the internet that's like, oh no, you can put stevia in your coffee. No, it's your brain. And where's your brain at? Where's your hormonal cycle at? Where is your insulin response? Are you insulin resistant? Because if you're insulin resistant, everything breaks a fast, because your insulin doesn't know how to control itself. It's a toddler with no boundaries. Why would you run that risk, right? And so that's the thing when you're really suffering from some things that you're not happy with your body and hormonal changes, you cannot run the risk. You have to go clean because you have to give your body the time to heal itself and just reset and start working the way it was designed to work. Suda, I emailed you yesterday, but was not delivered to you. No, I got your email, Suda. Just jump into our class tonight at 7. Judy, so is it just about the flavor of black coffee that does not break a fast, and lemon water does? I don't use either. Just wondering. So coffee does not trigger a response in your brain to start the insulin process or the digestive process, as far as we know. Now, I also have to put an asterisk there because there are some people who don't metabolize coffee well, so they don't reap the benefits. And from a lot of feedback, which is where I really trust, right, information from our community, especially, is that for a lot of people, including myself, coffee enhances everything that I'm trying to get out of my fasted state. And I just have plain coffee. There's something about coffee, even black tea, that doesn't create a response that digestion is imminent, right? And so that's what we're really looking at here. So hopefully that helps you there. Deanna, 2018 grad, fasting 20 hours since then. Loving how easy maintenance has been for years. I don't have to think about it. Blessings, Diane. Yeah, Deanna, I would say let's reframe that thought. You're not maintaining anything. You're just joyfully living your life, right? And you've created this amazing lifestyle that when you just do it on rinse and repeat, like we talk about here, it doesn't need to be maintained. You just show up as you. And girlfriend, you're reaping all the benefits of that since 2018. Karen, did you hear that, my friend? You need to jump in with us because we need to have more of you guys around like Deanna since 2018. We have grads from 2017 still reaping the benefits. So you can't reap the benefits until you get started. So if you're on the fence, get off that fence and jump in. Remember, as soon as you register for class, you get the intermittent feasting journal and guide, and you get the intermittent fasting journal and guide. So you'll get all the PDFs and all the guides that you're going to use in class as soon as you register for class. So if you know you want to jump in, get in now and you can start reaping the benefits of those downloads. Start getting that mindset right. So every single day you're in class with us is going to be a day where you get to make forward progress. Karen, Judy, you're welcome. And Karen, girlfriend, love it. You're in. Awesome. Cannot wait to have you in class. I love when you guys are here on these lives with us and you're in our community and then you jump into class. It's like this thing for me. I feel like I'm getting all my friends like in this lifestyle. So Karen, I'm going to keep an eye out for you. And I want you to come back to these lives with us and report back on how you are feeling and the progress that you're making, because there's a whole community of women here who are now going to be invested in you as well. So you invest in you, we'll invest with you, and you're going to reap all the amazing benefits that this lifestyle has to bring. So Karen, we got our eyes on you. Can't wait to have you in class. All right, that's it for me today. I am off to go watch my daughter run her last track meet of the season. She has some big goals for today. So, send some big thoughts and prayers up to my girl. She's going to go crush it today. We know it. She's had a great season. I will see my midlife mindset shift course members tonight at 7 p.m. I might be running into the call. You guys know you have access. So just get in the call, start your conversation. I will log in as soon as my behind enters the door from my daughter's track meet. So I'll see you guys tonight at 7. We have a great conversation tonight. Do some great group coaching together as well. Angela, get off the fence, jump into class, and hit that like button, ladies. This is a life-saving information. Share it with people you love. Thank you, Angela, for saying that. And girl, I am so happy for you and your family. I think about you all the time. I know all the things that you have overcome yourself personally, and now you're paying it forward and helping other people. I absolutely love it. All right. I will see you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Fast long, feast well, train smart, and most importantly, live your most authentic life. I'll see you guys on Monday.